Mic check, mic check. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, girl. You've got to be kidding me. Last night was crazy, okay? Last night was crazy. And let's jump right into it because there's a few things I want to talk about and I don't have a lot of time because it's already 2:10. Say has to be picked up from school, not soon, but soon. And like, my God. Welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your favorite mother of three, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is another tea video, but like, it's not supposed to be, but I had to come and talk about this because it's hot right now, piping hot. There's two major events that we need to cover today, and I'm gonna start with the one that's gonna take the least amount of time, and then we're gonna jump into the other one. So I do have the flu. Like, I can't win. I do have the flu, but I feel good enough to record. Obviously, look at me, girl. The flu ain't gonna stop the show. One little flu can't stop the show, so you might hear me. I do sound a little nasally today. That's because I have some kind of flu. It ain't COVID-19, thank the Lord. But yeah, this was so important. I was like, listen, no matter what, I'm filming today. So happy Monday to you. Stay tuned until the end of the video to hear the member shout outs. And if you don't hear your name today, girl, you'll hear it in the next video, maybe. And if you don't hear it in that video, you hear it in the next video. But I will get to everybody that left a comment on the community tab. Anyway, like I said, this weekend was absolutely bonkers. It was insane. I think I need to turn my mic down. Whew, girl, what they say, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Rick James ain't never lie. Listen, okay. So obviously, if you are keeping up with the blogs, then you know Ray J unloaded the clip this weekend, okay? He was not holding anything back. He had already unloaded the clip a couple months ago because obviously they keep pushing this narrative or using Ray J to promote their new show, The Kardashians, okay? And so this weekend, Ray J, said enough is enough. And he released the receipts. He came like Mariah.
Do you want me to bring the receipts? Do I need to bring the receipts, baby girl?
For Married to Medicine, okay? And I was here for all of it. So Ray J pretty much got online this weekend and did a whole PowerPoint slideshow presentation and showed that the deal that was done for the sex tape, which we already knew, by the way, was indeed done with Kim, Ray J, and obviously Momager Chris. Everybody was in the room for this. He actually let us know that Momager Chris allegedly made them refilm because she wanted to get better angles of Kim, but then they ended up scrapping the other two tapes and went with the first tape, the original tape that they filmed, because it seemed more authentic. Girl, I was gagged, okay? Gagged. And he even had the contracts and he was wearing gloves touching the contracts because he said Kris Jenner recently went on James Corden and was doing a lie detector test. And everybody knows, like, it's TV. Okay, so obviously the lie detector test, whatever answers they want to portray or whatever answers they want to be true or false, or come off as truthful or deceptive, they're going to pay to have that done. So this whole lie detector test thing was so stupid because that's obviously what would be going on here. Kris was on James Corden, and one of the questions they asked her obviously had to do with the sex tape, and she denied having any involvement, which was false, or allegedly is false, because the receipts that Ray J showed has Kim's handwriting on his contract. So it's his writing, his signature, the guy that did the production company, Vivid Entertainment, I believe, that put the contracts together, all those things. They did the deal, and Ray J is alleging that when it came time for them to sign the contracts, Kim was like, babe, let me fill it in for you, like to speed up the process, because Chris apparently was rushing them to get it done. Ooh, girl, the tea was hot. Okay, Kim's writing is indeed on that contract that Ray J showed. And then he also showed another letter from Kim when they were dating. He's kept everything in his safe, he said, because he said he's just been waiting for God to tell him, give him the green light. I know all about that, girl. He was like, listen, when it's time for the truth to be exposed, it's gonna be exposed, honey. And so there was a lot of truth telling going on this weekend, and it was hot and it was heavy and ready like Little Caesar's pizza, girl. Ray J is not taking his foot off Kris Jenner's neck, and I'm living for every minute of it, because yes, obviously he was naive. And hi, how are you? Because obviously he went into a deal with Chris, Kim, and himself and the entertainment company for the tape. Thank you very much. Do you need anything? I know, but she's not done school, baby. She's still got like an hour and 30 minutes left. So obviously they decided they were going to do the sex tape, and it was obviously to catapult Kim's career, and they knew what they were doing. Chris had an agenda from the very beginning, allegedly, and it worked, because they are now, their whole family has been put on. They are billionaires. They have made a whole empire off of the back of Ray J. It's giving slavery, okay? It's giving slavery. So they've built their whole empire off of what they agreed to do. It was supposed to be obviously hush hush. But I watched an interview, I think with the guy from Vivid Entertainment on The Breakfast Club years ago. And he had stated that in order for a sex tape to be released, all parties involved have to consent. Therefore, that means that Ray J and Kim have to consent for them to sell that sex tape, or it cannot be done. So I saw that interview years ago, I already knew that they agreed to release the sex tape and that it was not an accident. No, what happened was it was going to come out anyway, so they decided to make a bag off of it. And when they decided to make this bag off of it, that's why she would have had them film it over for better angles.
Unacceptable!
But then they scrapped those versions. And so if you recall, a few months ago as well, Kanye had stated that he met up with Ray J to get that stuff, the footages back from Ray J, which actually made 0 sense. And so Kanye and Ray J had met up because of Whack 100 and all this stuff. And it's just like, Ray J knew something was going to go wrong with the situation. So he kept, what he needed to keep that was going to pretty much level the playing field. And honestly, I hope he gets back at least half of the empire, girl, because the fact of the matter is, this situation really ruined Ray J's career, and it made him look bad while the Kardashians just climbed and climbed and climbed. Initially, it seemed like a good idea, but I don't think he knew that he would get a lot of backlash for what was happening. I think he was ignorant at that time, and also he was in love. I think he was bamboozled. And the fact of the matter is, he is owed reparations. So I hope he gets back every damn dollar. I understand that he was paid initially for the sex tape, but he has stated as well that they breached contract long before he started speaking. They breached the contract a long time ago. So technically, due to this breach, he should be able to collect something. Okay, he's leaving here with something.
From around the way, I'm leaving with something.
On some Denzel Washington. He really needs to be leaving there with something, because this is unfathomable. But I love that he's speaking up and speaking his truth now and letting it be known that this was orchestrated by the mother. She pimped her daughter out, which we been knew. Okay, we been knew that. But it's nice to actually make it make sense now. It's nice to see that contract. It's nice to know that Ray J has stuff in the vault that is going to come out soon. They cannot quiet him. The gag was, like, during this whole altercation, he was on live. His live was messing up. I don't know if it's because he was on vacation and the Wi-Fi was bad, or if they was pulling strings over there in California, because he was trying to click Kim's name and he couldn't click it, girl. She had him blocked. And the gag too was she never had responded to him until he flew off the handle at her, which he had released those DMs prior to this situation blowing up even further. But I feel like Chris went on James Corden and gaslit Ray J. Like, I feel like the more that, I feel like she's very calculated in the sense that if she goes on to James Corden, knowing already that Ray J has already flew off the handle and has already said that he's releasing this stuff and blah, 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 why would she go on James Corden and further be problematic? Is it because there's a new season coming out and she knew that he would? I feel like he played into her hand a bit, to be honest. But at the same time, I don't think that they thought that he would take it this far. I don't. Is that a Kanye line? I feel like it is. Well, the jokes write themselves. But yeah, I am going to keep watching the story unfold and I'm going to be back to talking about it. But I absolutely am loving that Ray J is speaking up and taking his power back. I think he owes himself that much. And I really feel like 20 years is a long time to be silent. The tape came out, I don't even know what year it came out. All I do know is that the tape, well, I don't feel like it should still be a topic of discussion 20 years later, but because it was done in a shady way, the dust has to be, blown off of it, and the truth needs to come to light. People want that confirmation of what they believed this whole time, what they thought they knew. Ray J is confirming it, and I'm here for it. This is a screenshot that I saw on Twitter that gives a little bit more detail into why Ray J was mad to begin with. So if you want to pause to read, you can, but we're going to keep going with the tea. On the topic of truth-telling, Miss Nicki Minaj. Ooh-wee. You see I got my pink on today? First of all, one thing about me, I'm always going to be in some pink, okay? I actually did wear pink specifically to talk about this today because, ooh, girl. There's a lot to cover. Wow. Where do I begin? I think every tea type video that I've dropped over the last few weeks, we've talked about Nicki, but last night, Nicki Minaj did a Queen radio because, as you know, she dropped the Queen mix to Freaky Girl, or Super Freaky Girl. Now, Nicki dropped the first Super Freaky Girl, then she dropped Roman's version, and then she dropped the Queen mix that included Bia, Katie Got Bands, JT, Akbar V, and Malibu Mitch. This was the first time that we've seen a Nicki record include a bunch of female rappers. And all rappers, not like singer, pop star, just rappers. What I noticed about this record in particular was that all the rappers on there, with the exception of JT, and with the exception of JT, everybody is pretty much an underdog. Now, Nicki stated the reason that those girls in particular were placed on the record was because those were the girls that congratulated her on her first #1. She made history the other day. She got a #1 record. She had a really good week that week, actually. She got the Vanguard same week. Actually, Conspiracy Bo is trying to take over. Ignore her. She got a #1 record and the girls congratulated her. And because those girls congratulated her on her #1, whether publicly or privately, she decided that those were the girls she wanted to have on the Super Freaky Girl remix. And all but one really slid, okay? I think I already told you guys that. The only verse I really wasn't feeling was Bia, Bia, okay? She's the only verse that I wasn't feeling. Bia and Nicki already have a record together. Nicki had jumped on Bia's Whole Lot of Money. Whole Lot of Money was doing numbers on TikTok. Whole Lot of Money was really popular on social media. And Nicki jumped on Whole Lot of Money. Bia had reached out to her previously, and she did not get to work with her before, but she finally got to work with her. They went on live together. They did a video. Did they do a video together? I think they might have done a video together. It looked like they were getting to work on a relationship outside of the music, which is great. And then the history with Nicki and JT starts off bitter and is finishing sweet. Now it starts off bitter because when everything was going down, it had appeared that the City Girls, both Carisha and JT, had chosen to pick Cardi's side, which is silly because at the end of the day, see, if I was a rapper, well, I was a rapper. No, if I was a rapper and I was in the music industry, you are not about to tell me I can't work with somebody. That's where my whole thing would be. Like, if I were a city girl, I would want a record with Nicki, and I would want a record with Cardi, and I would want a record with Kim, and I would want a record with everybody. So I wouldn't care. If y'all got beef, that's between y'all two. I want a record with both of y'all. But for whatever reason, it seems like if you work with one, you can't work with the other. And I think it's stupid. And this is not the first time we're seeing it, because we've also seen the flippity floppity crap with Meg. I think originally Meg had gone into it thinking like, okay, she has a business mind and she's going to work with Nicki and she's going to work with Cardi. There's some things with Meg that are a little off. We'll get into that after. But at the end of it, we see that Megan and Nicki are clearly in big beef. JT, Carisha, and Nicki squash their beef and move forward in their relationship, which is great. But then we have, I'm not really sure what the history with Katie Got Bands and Akbar is. I'm pretty sure Akbar has always shown Nicki love. Katie Got Bands, I'm really not sure. She probably never hated on Nicki. Otherwise, she wouldn't be on the record. And Malibu Mitch has always, from what I've seen online, she's always in the shade room, like not having anything negative to say about Nicki, bigging up Nicki. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Now, personally, when I saw Nicki tweeting, she tweeted a whole paragraph or two. And when I saw it, I said, problematic. Only because I feel like her putting those girls on the record and then tweeting that stuff first makes it seem like she was trying to either create an army or create minions, draw a line in the sand pretty much. Because if we reference Carisha Please, Meg Thee Stallion was on there, JT was supposed to be on Traumazine, and the rumors are that JT did not turn in her verse for Traumazine because obviously she was supposed to be working with Miss Nicki. Problematic. She should be able to do both. She should be able to have a verse on Traumazine. She should be able to have a record with Nicki. She already has a record with Cardi. I really don't understand why it's so petty and catty. Why can't I work with this person if you don't like them or if they don't like you? I'm here to produce art for the world. I'm not here to coddle another woman. I'm not here to, smooth over anybody's beef. I rap, you rap. Let's do a record. You rap and I rap. Let's do a record. It should never be, well, you were on that song with that person, so I'm not going to work with you. Girl, what? Like, what? Literally, we don't see a lot of this on the male side of hip hop. And so when people try to compare, well, nobody pressures the man to work with Jay-Z. Nobody pressures the men to work with Drake. They don't have to. That's the gang. Let's leave Jay-Z out of it. Let's talk about Drake specifically because one, Drake is directly affiliated with Nicki because of Young Money, but also because Drake is always either bigging up an underdog artist, working with an underdog artist, putting on an underdog artist. We literally, Lil Baby would have had probably a little bit harder a time breaking in if Drake never did the cosign. When Drake did Pikachu with Lil Baby, that's a lot of people's first time hearing Lil Baby, and then they go back and they listen to all Lil Baby's other stuff, like, oh my god, he's hard. You know what I mean? So, like, even where the artists from Toronto that literally suck are concerned, Drake hails them up. Drake talks to them. Drake posts their songs, you know, on his Instagram. You hear him listening to it and on his lives, like whatever it is, you see that. He works with 21 Savage. He like everybody on the male side of hip hop is always working together. We see joint mixtapes. Wiz Khalifa, Currency. This is like old, okay? Obviously I'm old AF. But like Wiz Khalifa and Currency, there's always like a pair, a duo. Drake and Future have a joint mixtape together. I think they have more than one. 21 Savage and Future and freaking Future be working with everybody. He a hoe, but with the man and the women. Future worked with Lil Uzi Vert, Baby Pluto, that joint mixtape. We do not see the women doing these joint projects. That's why it's such a big deal when two female rappers collaborate. That's why it's such a big deal. And that's why we're always like, oh my god, we want to see more of this. We want to see more of this because there's not enough of it. We see men featuring men all the time. What's that rapper from Polo G had so many features on his album. I think Nicki's even on his album. He had so many features on his album. See the men working with each other. And we want to see the same with the women. It does not have to be, I'm up here and I don't want you to be up here too. It should just be, let's ride this together like they do. Drake and Future aren't beefing. Drake and Lil Baby aren't beefing. And yes, there's beef in male rap. There's lots of it. People literally die. That's the difference between the male rap and the female rap. Like back in the day, in the 90s, niggas was dying over rap beef, okay? The West Coast, the East Coast, it was crazy. We lost two of our biggest artists through gun violence. We don't see that with the female rappers, which is good, you know? And even King Von dying recently, like a lot of them are still in the street or whatever, and things going hella wrong. That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is the women are not able to work together, or the powers that be are keeping them from working together. So when Nicki was in her prime, they weren't really signing female artists. She was the one and the done, okay? And if you've looked at that history, Nicki and Lil Kim were supposed to work together, but then they tried to exile Lil Kim. And whether that had to do with Nicki or the labels or the powers that be, whoever it had to do with, Nicki was used to remove Lil Kim. Now, perhaps at that time, Nicki was just getting in the door. She didn't have enough power or say so to be like, absolutely not. That is one of my idols. I'm not doing that. Maybe she didn't have enough power back then. But so much time has passed and it's like they should have already have squashed whatever beef they have and have moved forward. They're both bombs now. Like they should have already moved forward and for hip hop, given us something, girl. Because if Nas and Jay-Z can move past their beef and literally hit the stage together to this day, Lil Kim and Nicki should be the same thing. When you look at the history of Lil Kim and Nicki, obviously you have seen those cutouts of, not even cutouts, collages of Lil Kim wearing an outfit and Nicki wearing something that is highly identical, okay? Or similar to the point where it's not even deniable, every look. And I don't know who was in charge of styling, but it was definitely done. They tried to replicate Lil Kim. Obviously, she's an innovator. She is always going to hold whatever standard she has, and she's always going to have that place. But that also goes for Nicki. She set the bar, okay? So Lil Kim came in, did her thing. She set the bar. Then Nicki came in and she set another bar. And this does not mean that these two bars cannot coexist. And that's what gags me. Lil Kim opened the door for Nicki Minaj. Okay, she walked so Nicki could run, period. She walked so Nicki could run. And then Nicki's running opened the door so these girls could sprint. However, that's not what happened. We see that over the years, there's been a lot of susu, a lot of talking about behind the scenes stuff, and nobody's ever saying what the behind the scenes stuff is. When Nicki decided that she's gonna put these rappers, these female rappers on this record, I'm like, this is great for hip hop, especially because we get to see these talents that we may not otherwise have seen or heard. Prior to her putting these people on the record, we saw Nicki jump on Doja's record, which actually gave her her first #1. And unfortunately with that record, like, that record didn't really need a remix, so it kind of sucked that way. Like, that record didn't need a remix. That's a part of the problem, because Doja is so good as a standalone artist. Her working with Nicki is not going to do anything for her career. Doja Cat working with Nicki is just two people who have star quality, who are extremely talented, pens unmatched, talent unmatched, singing, dancing, performing as a whole. I feel like them together is just like a mutual respect thing. It's like Drake and Future working together, because obviously Drake had more time in the game than Future, but Drake doesn't look at Future like he's beneath him. He looks at him as a co-worker. And that's what the Doja Cat and Nicki situation should be as well. Collaborative effort, working together, and let the art just be the art. If we got a joint tape from Doja and Nicki, we would be on the floor for weeks, okay? We would not be able to pick ourselves up off the ground, because both of them have shown us just how far their pens can go. And we're gonna have to manifest this one. I'm gonna need it. I really do just need it. I need a joint project from two female rappers that's worth listening to. To be honest, I have not loved a Nicki record, full record, since Pink Print. Pink Print changed my life. It changed my life. I absolutely adored the Pink Print. I loved Pink Friday. And Pink Friday and Pink Print are my two favorite Nicki albums of all time. Queen was okay, but it's not touching either one of those two albums. And so I feel like those two were such great bodies of work. One of my other favorite albums from female rapper is Planet Her. Doja Cat's album from front to back is a slap, slap, slap. No skips. And that's very hard to find. An album with no skips? Are you dumb? There's not a lot of albums that have no skips, okay? Especially where rap is concerned. Especially where rap is concerned. And not just for rap, but female rappers. So the fact that Nicki has two albums that I can listen to front to back, no skips, no every damn word. And then Doja Cat has this album as well. That lets me know that the talent is measurable, okay? Or is it immeasurable? Either which way, that is who I feel like is the closest person to Nicki talent-wise, and who can go as far as Nicki talent-wise. As a pop star, as a pop sensation, as a rapper, I feel like she can't be boxed in the same way Nicki can't be boxed in. And now the difference between Doja and the girls that Nicki put on the record are those girls, unfortunately, I can't see them being as innovative or as successful as Nicki.
Damn.
Cosign or no cosign. I don't feel like those girls I don't feel like they have the je ne sais quoi. They don't have that punch, that impact that the other girls that are doing it have. The gag here to me actually is the person on the record I feel has the most potential to be a superstar if the right person were to get behind her is Malibu Mitch. She's so unique and different and beautiful, and her rap voice is dope. To me, Malibu Mitch has been doing this for such a long time, so it's nice to see that she got to be on a record with Nicki. I just don't feel like at this point in these girls' careers, a record with Nicki is going to do anything for them. And Nicki said it herself. Nicki said that during her live, she said that this is not their moment for life. Because that's what the Barbs had been saying. It's not their moment for life. They're going to have other moments that are much greater than this. And I thought that was refreshing to hear her say that, because we obviously hear her full of herself a lot of the time. So this was something that was nice to hear her say. She doesn't even believe that this is really going to change their life. She said the only thing that's going to change your life is hard work, dedication, the grace of God, period. A little bit of luck sprinkled in. She said a few things, but she said that is the stuff that's going to change your life. A feature from Nicki Minaj ain't going to change your life. And I said, period. Like, I'm glad that Nicki even knows that. And so that's why I don't get what all the tussle and the fussle is about when the girls are not getting these features. Because the first person outside of Doge that we saw get a feature from Nicki was Meg the Stallion. And when it happened, I was underwhelmed. I was like, it's not giving Hot Girl Summer. It's giving Flop Girl Summer. I'm not going to hold you. Hot Girl Summer was horrible. Yeah. You heard it here first. It was trash. Throw it in the garbage. It was, bin it. Garbage. Garbage. Put it away. Like, Hot Girl Summer was a flop. I wish Nicki never did that record, because the record wasn't good enough to do. Period. Like, the fact that Ty Dolla $ign, who is like Mr. Radio, was on that record and it was still trash. What are we doing? On the topic of Meg, because she is one of the people that tweeted after all this stuff went down. On the topic of Megan the Stallion. Whoo, girl. Nicki and Megan started off great. I think they started off as a business relationship, and I think Nicki thought that she was going to be able to befriend Megan, but for whatever reason, things that we do not know about, it went left. And this is actually my right. It went left shortly after that. I don't even think it was shortly after that, but a little while had passed. Cardi and Megan did a collaborative record. And they seemed to actually have maintained their friendship. So I thought that was interesting. But WAP did numbers, okay? Everybody was singing it, from the church choir to the to children. Everybody was singing WAP. And I was like, oh no, child. Not in my car. Not
On my watch.
on my watch. Okay, absolutely not. But that's neither here nor there. But everybody knows that song. Okay, they were talking about it on the news. Like, it was huge. It did way better, obviously, than Hot Girl Summer, and that's nobody's fault. You know, whatever song is gonna do good is gonna do good. That record did amazing. The video was cool or whatever. All Kylie Jenner was in the video. But child, next thing you know, Megan Thee Stallion's getting shot after coming from Kylie. Girl, a mess. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Anyway, when Cardi decided she wanted to do the song with Megan, she didn't give an F that she had already done a song with Nicki Minaj, because I think at that time Megan had stated, I think I saw it in the interview, chat, and if y'all hear me say something that's false or wrong, girl, just say it in the comments, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong at any point, okay? But I'm pretty sure I heard Megan say that, like, certain things have nothing to do with her. She's going to work with whoever she wants to work with. And I personally feel like that's fair. I feel like she should work with whoever. Why would I stop my bag? Imagine she decided, you know what? I did a song with Nicki Minaj. I'm not going to do that record with Cardi B. What? I'm loyal to Nicki. For what? This is business. I don't have to be loyal to anybody. Like Nicki said on her live, you ain't signing me, you musty, whatever. Like, she was calling these girls out their names. Okay, the live was outrageous. But she's like, I don't owe you guys anything. You're not signed to me, blah, 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 blah. But then that's how I feel about the girls that want to do records with her and Cardi and Lil Kim and whoever the hell they want to do records with. They do not have to be loyal to Nicki Minaj. But what I think you can't do is play both sides. If you're going to keep it business, keep it business. Don't have a friend relationship with this person, because I don't think they're capable of that. What I've seen over the years is that Sagittarius have a hard time maintaining friendships. Nene Leakes.
Now, why am I in it?
Nicki Minaj. Well, those are two of the major ones. But like Sagittarius have trouble maintaining friendships. And I don't know what that's about. Personally, I just feel like if it's a business and strictly business, it shouldn't matter who I work with after we cut a record. Absolutely not. That's not fair, because if she never did the record, if she never did WAP, and WAP obviously did numbers, made her a lot of money, well, for what? Just for her and Nicki to not be friends after the fact? Like, I don't understand what the motivation would be to not work with other artists just because she worked with Nicki. And I'm not even saying that that's actual factuals, but I want to touch on something specific that was said in the live that was then brought to Twitter and created a whole new blow up. In the live, Nicki had stated that she had expressed to somebody that she was actively trying to get pregnant so she can't drink, and the person was then pretty much telling her, oh, don't worry about it, just go to the clinic. I'm sorry. Go to the clinic, tried to pressure her to drink. And then people pulled the clips of the time they were filming the Hot Girl Summer situation and stating that look how uncomfortable Nicki looks when she says that she's not going to drive the boat. She's getting Megan to drive the boat. And Megan was like, you see, she's trying to get me to drive the boat and whatever. And I'm like, well, how about we just don't have alcohol present? If you know you can't drink and you're going to go on live, like, if she's already drunk, she might not even be thinking about the fact that you told her you're actively trying to have a baby, get pregnant. Then why is there alcohol in the room? That to me, that's not even really on Megan, but the clinic comment is crazy. Now, during this live, the only name that Nicki said was olive oil, and she was referring to Popeye's girlfriend. A mess. She never put a name to any of the claims that she was making. She said a lot of things during this live. She said there's a lawsuit that involves 3 people. I said, oh, after Cardi B sued Tasha K, all the celebrities are like, yep, I'm a sue. And I love it. I absolutely love it, because people really do go crazy. They get on the internet and they say a whole bunch of things, and whether it's true or false, like, they just make crazy claims and nothing to back it, and then think that they're not going to get sued in the process. Baby, you can have $1 to your name. Nicki is going to come and take it. Not $1. Not $1. Okay, period. As she should. Like, you can't be getting on here saying things that are not true. Now, you have to prove a lot for defamation. So if she's suing people, it's because she has some serious receipts, and she's going to present them as she should. Because you really can't just be getting online and talking about people crazy. That being said, she never mentioned any names except for olive oil. I find this interesting and annoying, because to me, if you're not going to say names, don't call it a tea party. Because realistically, to me, she knows what she's doing, and it's messy. By her not saying names, but giving just enough information for the fans, the Barbs, Barty Gang, what are Megan's fans called? The Horsebacks? What are her fans called? The Stallions? Hotties. Sorry. Not everybody fits in the genre. The Hotties. Not the Horsebacks, girl. I'm sorry. I'm ignorant. Not the Horsebacks. I'm actually gagged. The Hotties. Whoever the fans are, they take what she's saying and they run and go tell it because they want a reaction. To me, the same way that in this live, she had stated that people use the barbs. To me, she uses them too. I feel like everybody manipulates the fan bases, and it's not cool on any front. On no side is it cool to manipulate your fan base. Like, for what? Because it makes you feel powerful? Like, I don't get it. I can't like fathom it. I can't wrap my head around it. To me, it's irresponsible at her big age, okay, to provoke situations like this. State, oh, there's alcohol involved, which on wax, we've accused people of being alcoholics, okay? And every time she takes a shot on a record and doesn't apply a name to it because what? She doesn't want to give people clout? Like, I don't know. Every time she takes a shot on a record that is indirect because there's no names attached, the fans take it and they run with it. Drop a Tear is a perfect example of this. And then at the end of the Queen mix, them 8 bars, that 8 down, by the way. What the hell? What the hell? Say a name, ma'am, because we are tired. Okay, we're tired of figuring it out, trying to figure it out. But I think if you poke the bear long enough, it's going to bite back. It's going to respond. We see in Megan's records, she says, I might not be the coldest, but I'm also not the oldest, or something like that. Girl, I don't know how to be listening to Megan Thee Stallion. Like, she said something like that, though. I know that much. She said she's not the oldest. Who's the oldest female rapper that we have right now that's actually actively rapping? Nicki Minaj. She couldn't be referring to Lil' Kim because she has a relationship with Lil' Kim, which on the topic of that, I thought that the record Plan B Remix was a joint collaborative effort between Lil' Kim and Megan Thee Stallion. Lil' Kim was posting that all week, tagging Megan and all this. Megan paid her dust. I could never, okay? Matter of fact, the label or whoever pulled that thing right off of the damn internet, right off of YouTube, and I was stunned. I was like, she really paid her dust? I literally didn't know that Megan had nothing to do with this remix. Now, I didn't listen to the whole thing. The parts that I heard on Instagram were good, but from what I heard afterwards, she did indeed end up putting the autotune on there, and then she was singing, and it was a hot mess. And maybe Megan didn't like the record. But to me, out of respect for the person that she's always, claimed inspired her over the years, to me, a conversation should have been had before the record came out. It should have been addressed, and obviously you don't want to tell a legend, hey, I'm not feeling that. Blame it on the label, girl. Say the label said they're gonna pull it if you put it out. Blame it on the label. Get her to rewrite it. Say, you know what? I like this first part, but I don't like the I don't like the auto-tune, and I don't like the singing. I want it to be raw. I want hardcore Lil' Kim. Like, I don't want this new thing. And send the record back, and we could and I'll repost it. Megan paid her dust, and I thought it was disrespectful, but whatever. Now, Nicki and Megan's beef seems to be long-standing. I think what gags me about this beef, that is clearly there. There's absolutely no denying it now, because once Nicki went live and started saying what she said about Megan, sorry, she didn't mention Megan's name. Once she started saying what she said about the person trying to encourage her to drink alcohol when she told them she's trying to have a baby, and then, encouraging her to go to the clinic about it. She also said, you probably went to the clinic 10 times that year. I said, ooh.
Now that's how you clear a bitch.
I said, ooh. I said, don't shake the table. Then she released a song called Plan B. Girl, it's a mess. And that's why I say it's super duper messy, because she's saying just enough information for you to gather who it might be that she's talking about. So she doesn't really have to put a name to it, because the fans are going to put the pieces together. And I think that that's highly problematic. Say it with your chest. It's big enough Her chest is big enough. She needs to say it with her chest. Don't be coming out here calling nobody no damn olive oil. Say it with your chest. Say Coi Leray. Say Megan Thee Stallion. Whoever she's talking about, she needs to put a name to it so that those people can respond, you know, so that they can say what they need to say if they want to say anything. We're going to talk about Coi in a second. What I want to talk about where this Megan Thee Stallion situation is concerned, because the fans definitely brought it to Twitter. She replied to it and said,
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
And then kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent about like, why is she not allowed to respond to people that are atting her? It was unclear if she was talking about Nicki Minaj, who never said her name, or the person that at her and said, Nicki said you did this. And that's where it's problematic, because now Nicki is tied up in the foolishness because she stated these things, never said who it was, but then the fans, her fan, literally took it back to Twitter and said, my fave said you said this. What are we supposed to do with that? It's problematic and it's unnecessary. But like I said, a diss record is probably coming, because when you poke bears, they tend to bite. Like, don't be throwing rocks and hiding your hands. I hate that so much. Like, literally just say it with your chest. Because the other thing, and I'm probably going to end up coming back to the Megan tea, but like the other thing that happened where Coi Leray is concerned is, again, with just enough information. The only person that Nicki had done collaboration with outside of 5Yo that had an album coming out at the time was Coi. And Nicki gave just enough information to state that, one, she was staying up to the wee hours of the morning shooting a video with this person. She's in the video with Coi. That she had a small child at the time, so that gives us a window. Okay, she was a mom during whatever she's talking about. This is not before motherhood. She had a child, a small child. It has to be Coi at this point. And she did X, Y, and Z to push the person's record, push the person's album. She didn't have to. She said the guy from Amazon, I think she said his name was Tim, hit her up at the same time saying that she asked for like marketing for this person, didn't get $1 for it, asked them to put up billboards in like Times Square, whatever the hell, Amazon billboards for this album to push it, blah, 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 blah. Because she was genuinely trying to support this person. And like I said, she gave just enough information to let us know she's obviously referring to Coi. Now, Coi was also one of the people that tweeted and was saying the industry people are messy and beware of fake smiles and all these things. At first, I didn't think that she was referring to Nicki, but as Nicki was talking in her live, she said that she pretty much heard it through the grapevine or overheard, and she has receipts for all the claims that she's making. I would like to see all the receipts, okay?
I would like to see it.
I need to see the receipts, like Ray J came and showed us. So she pretty much stated that Coi was pressed when like a week later, Nicki dropped the song with 5Yo and pretty much took the shine away from Blick Blick. I don't think that was really the case, because to me, Blick Blick was a little bit more successful than We Go Up. But like the records that Nicki is doing at this point in her career, I feel like she should just be doing records to have fun. Like when she was jumping on records back in the day with all of them niggas, the songs were doing numbers. They were doing so well. I don't feel like that's what's happening. She's obviously getting her success with Super Freaky Girl. The song with 5Yo, I think, should have been hotter. Blick Blick should have been hotter. The song with Lil Baby don't have too many flops. And the song that him and Nicki did together was not, it wasn't it, which is shocking to me. I feel like a Nicki feature is not the same as it was back in the day. Like, Nicki has a song with Justin Bieber, okay? And back in the day, that was top tier. But today, a Nicki feature is not doing the same things that it did back then, and I'm not really sure why. Now, where Coi is concerned, I always thought that the relationship with her and Nicki would go left Only because Koi is a Taurus and Nicki is a Sag. Turbulent AF. Nicki stated that despite everything that went on with that situation, and again, she never said a name, she forgave that person, she didn't unfollow them, blah, blah, blah. That didn't last long. She definitely is unfollowed at this point. I feel like Nicki is right in the sense that these people are feeling entitled to these verses from her. And I'm not really sure why anybody feels entitled to anybody's art. I agree with Nicki when Nicki says she doesn't owe these girls anything. She does not. But at the same time, I feel like because we see in the male hip hop situation that the male artists bring up the next person, even if they already have a little bit of a buzz, they still snatch them up and like feature them, like young Roddy, and I think Meek. I know about Young Roddy because of Meek. I know about actually a lot of artists because of Meek Mill, but like to me, like specifically the rappers in Atlanta, they band together and, you know, they help each other grow and do whatever they need to do where music is concerned and even outside of music. And so it perplexes me that the women can't seem to get it together. However, we're not going to act like that's solely on Nicki Minaj, because it's not Nicki's job to get everybody to be working together. It's not Nicki's job to reach out to certain female rappers and do collaborations with them. But I feel like it should be done where it makes sense. And so again, I'm advocating for Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj to drop a mixtape or a joint collaborative something. Okay, we want to see that. But like where the newer girls are concerned, she really doesn't owe them a verse. Now, should they reach out to her and want a verse and it's organic, then yeah, of course. But I don't think it can be forced. Like, she's claiming that they take a picture with her and then they send their management to try to get a record, do a favor, whatever, and she's not feeling that. And so it seems as though Lakia is the person that got who she was talking about when she stated that. And people be like, oh no, she likes you, blah, blah, blah. And this is all coming out of Nicki's mouth, but it's just so hard to piece together who the hell she's talking about because she won't say who. Because Nicki said that she has receipts where somebody asked her to work with somebody and she sent back a message saying, I don't think that person likes me. And the person that she was communicating with said, no, she loves you, blah, 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 blah. So, again, we don't know who the hell she's referring to. But Lakia had tweeted yesterday, and she tweeted that pretty much there's a thin line between being supportive and dick sucking. And I agree. And I don't think she was talking about Nicki though. I think that she was referring to JT. Because JT is looking crazy in these streets right now. She absolutely is. Like, I think she's doing a little too much. I get it. You worked with somebody that you obviously loved but dissed. And I don't know if she's just trying to make up for, like, show extra love because she publicly dissed her. Like, I don't know what the motivation is behind JT's behavior now, but she is looking a little crazy. I don't think that it's necessary in a normal situation, but I think with Nicki, it's necessary. People want to say they're friends with Nicki Minaj. Like, literally, the beginning of the live, she was saying JT texted her. She just got off stage. She was working. And Nicki was pretty much using the fact that JT is booked and busy as a way to dig at the other female rappers that she didn't work with on this record in particular. And so that's where I feel like some of these girls are realizing that they're really just a pawn in Nicki's playbook. Because now it's like being on YouTube, right? Like, people get these PR packages and they feel like they can't say a wrong thing about Kylie Cosmetics. If it's dusty and crusty, I'ma say it. Okay, I don't care if I got it in PR and then you don't get your PR. So then That's why people pretend that things are not bad when they're bad. And they're like, oh, Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. Oh, maybe it's just mine. I'm sure you guys are fine to order. No, absolutely not. So it's the same thing here. People don't want to piss Nicki off. And the girls that she put on the record, they're not going to piss her off. They're like, I got my Nicki feature. And not a lot of the rap girlies can say that. And I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize that relationship, because at the end of the day, what do we know about the industry? Relationships are everything. So you really shouldn't be jeopardizing that relationship. However, Nicki should not be pressed if you decide, hey, I'm going to do a record with Cardi. Now, if you have a relationship with Nicki Minaj, and maybe this is all that needs to happen for things to be understood. If you have a record with Nicki Minaj now, so say one of these 5 girls, say Malibu Mitch, because to me, Malibu Mitch has shown everybody love. She's not just shown Nicki love. I've seen her shown Cardi love. She's one of those people that said there's space for everybody. But now that she has a record with Nicki, is she ever going to have a record with Cardi? That's what I want to know. Is it just a thing like this? Because now Nicki's her sis, is she gonna go to Nicki, and because she wants to work with Cardi, is she gonna be like, hey, Nicki, I never want to jeopardize my relationship with you, so I'm coming to you straight up because I'm supposed to work with Cardi, but I don't want you to feel like I'm disrespecting you or blah, 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 blah if I work with her. Is this an issue? Please let me know. Should she have to have this conversation? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, business is business. Friendships are friendships. Why are we at, she's not their mom. Why is she at, why would anybody have to ask her permission? And we don't know that this is the case, but that's what it seems like, because why is it that if an artist like Megan Thee Stallion, for instance, works with Cardi, her and Nicki have fallen out? Why is that the case? Or does one have nothing to do with the other? Does this more so have to do with something that we have no idea about and Cardi is completely irrelevant? Because let's keep it a buck. There's only 2 people that have come for Nicki and have let it be known they're coming for Nicki. And those 2 people are Remy Ma. Well, actually 3 people. Remy Ma, Lil Kim, and Cardi B. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj were in a physical altercation. When Remy Ma came for Nicki on wax, dropped her name, said the Sheether record was a historical event. Let's not even tiptoe around the fact. It was. And when it happened and we saw Nicki wasn't responding to it, we were kind of perplexed. We were like, what? Why isn't she responding? This is hip hop. But she didn't. She refused to respond, and then she dropped 3 records a little later. And then it was like every record after that, she was coming for Remy's top. And I think Remy outgrew the situation, as she should, because there was nothing really left for her to be, said. And we don't even really know why Remy dropped that record. We are still kind of in the dark about it. Other than the fact that Remy claimed that there was behind the scenes things going on that we're not privy to. Oh my God, Chad, I gotta go. But she's the only person that has come for Nicki, put her name on a record, and made it clear she's talking about Nicki. All the other girls that are rapping, like Megan Thee Stallion, she's not putting a name on it. People are just making assumptions, and then the fans come in, and then it becomes this huge thing. Same with Cardi. The fans have created a lot of drama, and to me, the artists are all stupid for playing into the fans' BS. They should be having conversations outside of whatever the fans are saying online. You should be able to rap and say whatever the hell you want to say. It's an ego-driven sport. So you should be able to say whatever you want to say without it being an issue. I'm not quite sure why Remy can't say she's the best and it's taken like she's trying to come for Nicki's spot. I don't understand why Cardi can't say that. I don't understand why any of the rap girls can't say whatever they feel about themselves to boost their own ego in the sport of rap without it being a dig at Nicki. I think it's so stupid. It's like, it's beyond me. Like, it's actually dumb. Sorry. There's a lot that Nicki said in her live. She said that people have done voodoo or gone to see witch doctors and to do voodoo on her. And she also claimed that all the people that have talked down on her family and talked down on her, bad things have happened to them. She talked about Wendy Williams. She talked about Garcelle. She said to Garcelle, that's why that white man left you. I cackled. I was like, ooh. But she said bad things are happening to all those people. She's pretty much giving touch not the Lord's anointed. However, I don't really associate the things that are going on with whoever that have, you know, talked down on her with karma of any sort. I feel like she has also received a lot of problems over the last few years as well. And so is that because of how she has been or how she has participated in the industry? Because Nicki is claiming that she has sat back and not said anything for a while and now she's letting it all out. But I feel like my time was a little bit wasted because she didn't put a name to any of the stuff that she was saying. We had to piece it together. And I got 3 kids, girl. I ain't got time to piece things together. But I think from the outside looking in, her dropping this record with these girls and then tweeting, because she tweeted first. And correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I know, she tweeted first. The rap girl started having stuff to say. And then she went on Shade Room and stated that she indeed tweeted before, except for one of her tweets, anybody said anything. So it was like, so what were you talking about? I feel like she was, again, throwing rocks and hiding her hands because she was saying, like, people were being shady towards the girls. They weren't showing the girls genuine love for getting on a record. They were hating. And now that the girls say something, because she tweeted that, it's like she wanted the other girls to say something. They didn't have to congratulate the girls that were on the record. They didn't have to say, hey, congratulations on getting your Nicki feature. And that doesn't mean that they're salty that they're not on the feature. But how she chose to put people on her feature was fair. But I don't like how she tweeted what she tweeted after and saying bitches are mad and all these things, because nobody seemed to have been mad until she said that. So I'm confused. Did she want them to be mad? Were they not mad enough? They were paying it dust? Like, and how does she know that they didn't congratulate them unless she asked the girls, hey, did anybody shout you out for having this record with me? Like, does she feel like it's a huge accomplishment for any one of the rappers? Because to me, the only people that made a stink about being on a record with Nicki were Asian Doll and Erica Banks. We saw how that turned out. And then Asian Doll tweeted and said, she said, siding with biatches who had plans to end you is crazy. Now here it's not clear if she is referring to Nicki wanting to end them or people that are on the record wanting to end Nicki. It's such a thin line between being supportive and dick eating. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. That was from Lakia. And to me, that's for JT. Industry is so weird. Only if y'all know the half. Yuck. Anyways, flash it out now. Be careful from fake smiles. That was Coi Leray at first. Like I said, I didn't think that she was talking about Nicki, but she was. And then Nicki's tweets. Her first tweet was me running-ish 15 years later after corporate giants and machines used lab rats to bring me down, but then I pushed out Papa Bear and got back in the game because I don't need to wait for ghostwriters to finish getting their blank sucked. I can just go in with juice and rattle the culture. And this is all, this is all before the live, okay? The tea party. The most dangerous decision in life you can ever make is choosing the wrong side. So again, that's why it looks like she used these girls to have, like, to be minions. Because what does she mean by choosing the wrong side? Like, are you mad at the giants or is she mad at the artist? Because, like, again, like, they say Cardi was used in that way. Y'all don't watch superhero movies? Evil prospers for most of the movie but never wins. The evil stepsisters were loving life until they weren't. Everything done in the dark. Everything light bulb emoji, blow nose emoji. And then she tweets, me, Katie got bands, Bia, Girl JT, Malibu Mitch, Akbar V running-ish on the hashtag Queen Mix while bitches talk shit in the group chats and ask they fave bloggers to say mean things about us while pretending not to see these hoes talking slick and bullying the bad guy. Again, if you're gonna say something like that, it needs to have receipts to back it. Okay, because literally I didn't see anybody say anything until Nicki started tweeting. And then it says, I'm so glad you mad. Koi, Lakia, Asian Doll, or Asian Debrat, whatever, all had their piece to speak. And it's honestly sad. Like, I don't get why the women can't just work together and get it done. But I mean, I worked at Garage at one point. Working with girls is hell. It's tired, okay? That's why I sit in a room by myself and talk to nobody. I talk to a camera for a living. Like, literally, I talk to a camera. So I get it. I get being the only one. I can't. I'm gonna go pick up my child and I'll be back to finish my thoughts. So I picked up Say and I'm back. I could be wrong, but it almost seems as though she put those tweets out to make the other girls that were not on the record appear as though they were upset about not being chosen to be on the record, so that the girls that were on the record could be manipulated and gaslit into believing that the other girls were hating on them, which would then in turn create a beef and a divide. And it really just created division amongst the rap girlies, because if we're being honest here, we haven't really seen a lot of beef per se, with the exception of like Asian Doll and like Cuban Doll, who used to be friends, and then also Asian Doll, and I think Katie got bans because Asian Doll says she's the queen of drill when Katie got bans says she's the queen of drill. Like, there wasn't a lot of rap beef among the girls. Like, the other day, Megan Thee Stallion was, of course, on Carisha Please, and also her and Carisha are always flirting, per se. They were at a party, rubbing on each other, like... Like, there was not division there. And I feel like Carisha has pretty much stayed out of it. I feel like Carisha has her guard up still where Nicki's concerned. JT is more, you know, full throttle, becoming some kind of Barb here.
Unacceptable!
They said she put a pink wig on and don't know how to act. She, like, it's... In the live, Nicki kept saying that these girls have mommy issues, which is ironic because all these years she's been calling people her sons. But like, that was always just supposed to be like a catchphrase. There was literally nobody else rapping when Nicki started. And if they were not getting not even an ounce of the shine that Nicki was getting at that time. So like, when she was saying all these bitches is my sons, I really always felt like she was talking about me, the listener. I never, ever took it as she was talking about other rappers. I always felt like she was referring to the listeners, the barbs, the people at home. I thought she was just talking mess on a record, as she should as a rapper. I didn't think that she was referring to any other rappers because nobody was really out at the time. And then, of course, over the years, as more and more rappers came out, then it did turn into she's referring to the other rap girlies and whoever comes up after her. But the people that she put on this record in particular, I really don't see them shooting to stardom. They are not the next Nicki, for sure. They not the next Doge, that's for sure. This might be the highest mark of their careers. And so even though Nicki stated herself, like, you know, she can't make anybody, and this is not gonna be their moment for life, it actually might be. And so with Koi would never have really fit on this record. I feel she could have did a cute verse for the record, but I feel like wants to be more than what people have put on her, which was a TikTok artist. She tweeted actually yesterday that it's so funny how when she first started to pop, people were calling her TikTok famous or she's a TikTok song maker. But now that's everybody's goal now. Get hot on TikTok. Do you know how many people have been signed off of TikTok? Shout out to Akila. Okay. Listen, Akila's voice, Ooh, girl, that's my baby. Anyway, lots of people have gotten record deals and stuff off of TikTok. It don't matter how you get popping as long as you can maintain the artistry. So like, I think I tweeted the other day and I said, I hate when I can tell that an artist went to the studio with TikTok in mind. Because it's one thing to make a nice hot record and it blows up on TikTok just because it's a nice hot record. But it's another thing to go to the studio and be like, what's gonna loop on TikTok really good? And that's what these songs are sounding like. And they don't sound good, okay? Because it sounds like you made it for TikTok. It doesn't sound like TikTok took it and made it hot. It sounds like you went in the studio thinking that TikTok was gonna make it hot, but then it doesn't pop. Ooh. No shade, no tea. No shade. Anyway, another thing I wanted to address about the Nicki situation is that she said that the same person that suggested the clinic to her waited until she announced her pregnancy, but didn't say congratulations, even though that person knew she was actively trying to have a baby because she said it to them. They waited until Miss Beyonce sent flowers and Nicki posted it, and then they tried to send flowers thinking Nicki was gonna post it like she was being supportive, but Nicki said them flowers ain't even make it into her house.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, I said, and again, people assume that that was for Megan Thee Stallion. I feel like all of what was said last night was completely unnecessary. I really wish the tea party was worth the sip because I was tuned in and like I said, it's too much guessing going on. Like, I got 1,000,001 things to do. I don't have time to be sitting and guessing and then having to follow up and see what's going on Twitter, watching other blogs to see what the frig is going on, to put the pieces together, because I really don't be like, I can't even believe that somebody went and dug up the live stream from the time Nicki and Megan were on live together when they were filming Hot Girl Summer. That's like 3 years ago. Like literally 3 years ago. Somebody went back and found the footage just so that they could post and say, this is who she's talking about because Nicki wasn't trying to drink in this and she was trying to get Megan to drink and Megan obviously knew because Nicki told her she was trying to have a baby and blah, 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 blah. Girl, it's too much. Like, people are overly invested. And it's one thing if you're sort of invested because, you know, you get to come and sit and talk. Like, I'm sitting and talking, okay? But this is not an actual blog. Let's just put that out there. I just come and sip with y'all, okay? We're besties. But, like, if you are sat at home day and night and ain't getting a check for checking on these people, ma'am. No, ma'am. Too much time is being invested and spent that you would even know to go and dig up that damn live to put the pieces together. I think that that's crazy. However, you make my job easier. So shout out to you, whoever dug that up. Anyway, that being said, Nicki said whatever she said about these flowers being sent and they didn't make it into the house. But then towards the end of the live, she starts hooping and hollering and cussing out the girls. She is calling them everything but a child of God, okay? She's cussing out the other girls and saying, like, why do you feel like you're entitled to a feature from me? I was pregnant. Y'all didn't send gifts for Papa Bear.
We'll Papa Bear gift, bitch. If me and you so fucking cool, ho.
I said, now she's looking for gifts for a Papa Bear. It's giving virtual baby shower, okay? It's giving YouTuber. It's giving P.O. Box. Like, what is she talking about? I could not believe she said that. I was like, ma'am. Even my mom said, she's like, well, yes, who was laying down with her and making the baby? Why is she expecting gifts from people? So are you telling me if people sent gifts for Papa Bear, they would have got a verse? Is that what she's trying to say? I need clarity, ma'am. She said they didn't send gifts. They didn't reach out to her, send flowers or nothing when her daddy died.
Did you send flowers when my father died? If me and you so fucking cool, ho, I don't owe you.
And all I'm thinking is, I wouldn't even know if that's the case, if I should send flowers or not. You said this man tried to burn the house down with your mama and you in, like, what? I'm not sending, I don't know what your relationship is with your daddy. I'm not sending flowers. If you said that this man tried to burn the house down, what the hell do I look like? Like, what? No, I'm telling y'all right now, if my dad ever dies, do not send me flowers. Okay, send me Mentos. Y'all know why. But don't send me flowers. He gets no flowers. He gets none, okay? So if my dad dies, do not send flowers. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't even have a P.O. box, okay? Because I ain't expecting nothing from no damn body. I don't have a P.O. box at this time in my life, okay? And the only time that I actually had a P.O. box and was receiving stuff was because y'all told me to get a P.O. box. And that was early on in my YouTube days. But like, as of right now, I don't have a P.O. box. And people ask me today and I'm like, no, I don't have one and I'm not gonna get one. Okay, it's too much work. All in all, I feel like Nicki tweeting and Nicki going live last night did more harm than good. It took the shine away from the song. I don't know, maybe it's a little far-fetched for me to try to put myself in Nicki's shoes, but I would just, okay, if I'm this $1 million businesswoman, okay, with a baby boy, and I know what impact I've had on hip hop in the last decade plus, I would be so freaking humbled. And I don't get that energy from her. I believe that her impact is unmatched. I believe that she doesn't always get the credit that is due. But in a way, it's a double-edged sword, because the same way she feels like she doesn't owe these girls verses, they could be feeling like they got it out the mud. They were blessed with whatever talents God gave them, and they don't owe it to Nicki, because Nicki is not the first female rapper in the world. So they don't owe it to Nicki to owe her ridiculous amounts of love. Look at Saweetie, for instance. Saweetie has always said that Nicki was one of her biggest inspos. She always stated Kim and Nicki. She did. I could never picture Nicki Minaj jumping on a track with Saweetie. It's not gonna happen. Because one, I already told you guys Saweetie needs to be a YouTuber.
Damn.
But two, I don't think that that's a good matchup. And I think they both would know that. And I don't even think Saweetie would want a record with Nicki. I'm not even sure what that would sound like. Like, honestly, I don't know what that would give. But Saweetie has always given Nicki her props. But it seems like the way Nicki takes it is, if people are giving her props, it's because they want something from her, which may be true. But I also feel like at the end of the day, people were fans of Nicki's work, of her look, everything. People were fans. We grew up of being fans of Nicki, and that goes for the rap girls as well. They were fans of her. Even Lotto has claimed she was a Barb. She had the fake Barbie chain, all these things. Like, a girl, I had the fake Barbie chain too. I was Nicki Minaj for Halloween one year, okay? Like, I think even if that is the case, everybody does not have to booty lick, kitty sweat lick. Everybody does not need to kiss up to her for work to get done. Over the years, we've seen her jump on guys' tracks out of the blue. Lil Uzi Vert is her baby, or was her baby at one point or another. And hey, maybe that's why JT and Nicki are cool. Who knows? But we've seen her jump on Sway Lee and freaking Ray Shremmerd. We've seen her jump on the Black Beatles remix, Black Barbie. We've seen her jump on YG song. We've seen her jump on so many guys' records over the years. The first time we saw her jump on a female record and it was so poorly received by the artist was I'm a boss ass bitch. Okay, that was the first time P-Fat, P-Tap, whatever the hell their names are. See, you wouldn't even know them because they came in. That song was so old and it got revived for whatever reason, and then Nicki jumped on it. It looked like she was trying to do them a favor, because at that time, Nicki jumping on your record to make your record pop, that was like the beginning of the end of when that era was, you know? And so her jumping on that record should have been received well by the girls that had the record out, but they snubbed her. And at that time, I really felt like their snub to her was disrespectful, because they had the attitude that they don't need her. And we ain't heard from them since, girl. Their snub was so disgusting and so public that there was no going back after that. Like, none. I feel like their snub was the most disrespectful snub we have seen. However, they may have felt like she was taking away from their shine because the song popped before she jumped on it. Do you see what I mean? So it seemed like she was trying to use them, and maybe that's why they came at her the way that they did. But to me, it was disrespectful. And like I said, we ain't heard from them since. We don't know where they're at. Because like I stated earlier, relationships in the industry are everything. So if you have bad relationship, if you are no good, look at Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks' pen is crazy. And the only reason she's not further is because she has mental health issues, and she also just very problematic where a lot is concerned. And like, it sucks because I feel like she adds such a great element to the game, but she's just in her own way. She's in her own way, and she can't get out of her own way because of her unresolved mental health issues, unfortunately. But like, even her, she had the potential to reach a certain level of stardom. But when you're in your own way, it's not gonna happen. And the craziest thing too is I feel like sometimes Nicki gets in her own way. To me, she does great things. Like, she just broke a record. She just got her Vanguard. She just put out her greatest hits because of the Vanguard. And already it's been outshined because of negativity. To me, that's being in your own way. Like, she doesn't have to do all this stuff. Like, her getting online and like tweeting these paragraphs and I'm glad you're mad and like all that negative stuff, to me, outshines and outweighs the positive things that happen in her life. And I don't know if she notices that she even does it, but I think it's very telling. And when she does stuff like this, to me, it adds validity to what the people that have had issues with her have stated about the behind the scenes stuff. The fact of the matter is, throughout her career, Nicki has never openly dissed anybody. She's never put a name to it. She just goes in the studio and then throws subliminals, and then everybody's mad because it's like, I know she's talking about me or blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I'm not taking nothing personal. If you don't at me, baby, I ain't taking it personal. If you don't put a name to it, it really keep it on the playground for real. But like, if you don't put a name to it, it has nothing to do with me. So like, the stuff that she's saying in the records is so obviously shots, and that's why people are throwing shots back. But all this subliminal stuff has to end. Like, I feel like this is gonna be the turning point. This Queen Radio thing. Megan has no choice now but to go in the studio and diss Nicki and say her name on the record and see if Nicki responds. Or is it gonna be another situation like Remy, where she says nothing and then uses that to put out, you know, track after track after track where she's eating the person. But literally, since that happened, since Sheether, things have not been the same. And we're not going to pretend that they have been. Sheether didn't do anything for Remy, but it definitely did something to Nicki's career. It didn't take anything away from Nicki's career that she had already put forth. But after Sheether, I feel like a lot of people just started looking at her strange because they thought she was about hip hop. And then like her responses to what Remy, like she barely responded to Remy. And so I think a lot of people from that point were looking at her strange. But Remy knows her dissing Nicki never did anything for her career. She got the stuff off her chest, but career-wise, it didn't catapult Remy. And I don't know if that's what Remy's intention was, to catapult to the next level by dissing Nicki. It didn't work, if that was her, you know, intention. But from that moment, she has just continued to live her life, you know? Things happen. I think she probably regrets it. Sometimes when you look back at stuff and you realize, I could have done that differently. It sucks. And so that could be the case with Remy. But like, Nicki is fighting with 20-somethings. What do I look like arguing with you and you don't have the same pen style as me? You don't have the same accolades as me. You don't have the same money in your account as me. What, like, that's what I don't get. Like, to me, Nicki is so massive. Like, she is huge. She's a big deal. She's always gonna be a big deal. Nobody can come to the table and say they've done what she's done. We're hip hop, we're pop culture, where anything is concerned. I don't get why she is playing with these girls like this. Like, why she even, like, she should be paying them dust. But she gets online and she acts very childish. I'm not gonna hold you. She's acting childish. It's petty. Oh, that is her last name, girl. What we gonna do? It's weird to me. Like, she should be so happy right now. I thought that after she became a mom, things would change for her, shift for her. And I at first I thought they did, because even her, like, moving on from the situation with Carisha and JT and even Ree, because they definitely fell out. Rihanna and Nicki fell out, okay? But now that they're both moms, they are cool again. She really doesn't need to be doing all the stuff that she's doing, because in turn, she looks like the miserable person. She doesn't look like she's genuinely happy when she's hit all these great pinnacles and things in her life. I don't feel like people should be trying to push her to like retire because she's 40, whatever. But like, that's what most of the male rappers do. They fake retire. So 50 retired, Jay-Z retired. They just come in every now and again and shake the table. They shake the table. Obviously Wayne has not retired, but he don't need to retire, okay? But I feel like Nicki should maybe get to signing a few artists and helping them develop their brand and, you know, growing them, versus trying to still be outdoing the little girls, because it's their time now. Like, the time is just different. So her collaborating with people now, like I said, should just be her having fun on records. Whoever reaches out to her to do a collab, they should just keep it business, work on the collab. If they want to shoot a video, do the video. Over the years, we've just seen her collaborate with way more dudes than females. And now that she's collaborating with females, it's still problematic, or it's still a problem, which makes no sense, because it's like, what do you want? Do you want me to collab or not? You guys said that I wanted to be the only one. Well, what's the problem? And the only reason why it looks like she's still trying to be the only one is because she's not collaborating with somebody that's even on her caliber. She is collaborating with people that are not going to make it past where they're at. Damn. Most of those girls won't even get to Megan's level. I don't even really understand how Megan's at the level that she's at, and I'm sorry if you're a hottie, but I just feel like Megan has a good team behind her to back her and push her stuff. I genuinely don't feel like Megan is like, I want to listen to her all the time. Like, to me, she doesn't read or come across as a superstar. She just doesn't. To me, she's missing the je ne sais quoi, but she has such a good team behind her pushing and getting her brand deals. She's like Saweetie, only she can actually rap. She has a decent pen. She has an okay flow. Her flow is redundant because maybe her accent, but I don't feel like she is a superstar. Damn. I don't. That doesn't take away from what she's already accomplished. It doesn't take away from what she's going to accomplish. That's just my opinion. Oh my gosh, freaking Callie. I love Callie. I think she's so beautiful. But even her, there's just some people that always will be just at a certain level, and it's cool, you know? It's good enough for them, and maybe they're happy there. Maybe they don't want to be Beyonce. Maybe they don't want to be Nicki Minaj. They want to be able to take care of their families. Like Ruby Rose, she literally, I think she understands what she's doing as a rapper is only gonna get her so far. That's why she does OnlyFans. Like, you gotta get it how you live. Some of these girls are just not built for the cause, and There will never be another Nicki Minaj. There will never be another Lil' Kim. There will never be another anybody that's already made. Everybody should just be in their own lane and do what they do best and not trying to top the next person. Because if you're worried about topping the next person, then you're not going to be able to top yourself. It's not happening. Remember the guy that was swimming next to Michael Phelps and he was looking over at Michael Phelps when he should have been focusing on getting to the other side of the damn pool? That's why he lost, okay? There will never be another Michael Phelps. Girl. So I think people focus on the wrong things and it really ends up hurting their career in the end. That being said, I said a lot today. I said a lot today because this lady was on live for like over an hour or something like that. Like, it was long. But that being said, I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled and my ears to the streets because I am anticipating whatever happens next, because obviously, you know, Megan has not been afraid to come to Twitter when she needs to and defend herself when she needs to. And that's the other thing too, is like, if somebody accuses you of something or says something, whether they put a name to it or not, but if the fans come and start attacking you about it, are you not going to defend yourself? Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. And then people are like, well, she came for her first and then she defended herself in the song. And then she came for her first and she defended herself in the song. Shut up. Like, shut up.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
It doesn't matter, because neither one of these heifers are saying Megan Thee Stallion or Nicki Minaj. Neither one of them have said either one of their names. And if they have, I would like to hear it and see it, but neither one of them have. So, to conclude my thoughts and my opinions about this, I feel like everybody is being problematic. I feel like nobody was mad until Nicki started subtweeting and accusing people of not being happy for the girls that were on the record. Am I missing something here? Did somebody tweet something before Nicki to make her feel like people were mad? Or was the support just not so public or private that Nicki gathered this and used it as fuel to let off the shots in the lie? It's really hard to say. All I know is that I don't feel like any of it is necessary. I don't feel like Nicki and Megan should have this long lovers quarrel. Girl, what is this? Can we all just get along? Okay, like, until Megan Thee Stallion says something about Nicki Minaj in a record, until this lady goes on record and rhymes icky with Nicki, and until Nicki goes on a record and rhymes Megan with begging, well, it's up. Like, like, it's up. And I saw what I said about Cardi the other day. Cardi should not have said what she said about let's not talk about husbands and then tried to renege. We knew what you meant. Don't play dumb. And that's why the beef will never end, because one, the people involved, the artists, are all being dumb and immature. So sorry about it. And two, the fans drag it every single time. Sometimes they make stuff up that never even happened. And you're like, how did y'all interpret that from that? Come on, guys. They want the beef to continue because they don't want their fave to be taken off of her throne, whoever their fave is. So if their fave is Nicki and they have her on this pedestal, they don't want the next girl to come in and take their fave off the throne. And if their fave is Cardi, they don't want the next girl to come in and try to take their fave off the throne. And if their fave is Meg, the same thing. Nobody wants to look at their fave like they're beneath the next person. But how about everybody has their own throne? How about everybody has their own chair? Whatever accolades and achievements Nicki has sitting on her throne with her crown on, that's what she has. Everybody's a queen in their own right. So why are we, the fans, forever arguing? Now, y'all heard me say I love a good rap beef. So when shots are fired on a record, I gag a little bit. I live, but when there's no names on it, it's like it defeats the purpose. I feel like a lot of it is baiting, and either they take the bait or they don't. I feel like the fans run with stuff and try to bait the artist to say something and then get mad when they do. And so it's like, nobody can win here. Like, what is nobody saying? Like, it's just going on in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. So until somebody says somebody's name on wax, we're going to be here forever. And we're going to be talking about it every damn week. And honey, we ain't got the time. So I need them to solve it and solve it expeditiously. Is there really a point to this beef? Is there really a point? I don't see one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I love you all so much. And if I forgot anything, girl, I've been talking for hours. So please, let me know what I forgot. I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Oh my God, I tried to run off on the plug. I tried to leave without giving you guys your shout outs. Oh my God. A shout out to Sage Diary. Shout out to Jacqueline D, Melissa Williams, Chris H, Livonia, Shemjem, Samira, Jess Lake, Kate Len, that's Kaytlen, just so you know, because I'm sure there's more than one Caitlyn. Elise Knowles, okay, Beyonce's cousin. Muna A, sorry. Secret the Soldier, Ray Conrad, Selena, anything for Selena's. Makia Vonya, According to Christine, Mousy, Alexis Scorniers, Courtney Hawk, The Richie Golden, It's Tay She, Chevelle, Fraser Lewis, Destiny Mitchell, Sierra Stevens, Emily S, Jamie Collins 3654, BB Brit 22, Nora Lee J, Lodina Mensa, Jordan Marie, Beautifully Coy, Yo X Lanza, Wheezy F Baby, please say the baby. Monette Amina, T Boo 17, JV, Genesis Ricard, Define in Reality, sorry, not me, I can't read. Shantavia, Ming Jade, Tyray, Haley Dennis, Nate Anthony, Talia? Did I say it right, girl? Kibi, 50 Shades of Day, Affirmed Visionary Plays, Convos with Ken, Fatuma Diallo. I feel like I got you last time, girl. You snuck in there again. Desriel, Carrie, Callejas, Nolasco. Did I say that right? Miss Lee, YT. She been around since the Stone Age, girl. Okay, OG subscriber right there. Tony Elena, Disastrous Beauty, Jaquita Robinson, Lorena Ares, or is it Ares? Ofni Similian, GFYS, Suki, not Suki with a good coochie, Lee the Survivor, what up girl, Aisha Lynn, Unapologetic, Kiara Joni, HQ Ben, girl, Bria I'm Myers, Mary B, there's two Mary B's, Marquita Ross, Cambria Glover, Miss Angelique TV, she's also been around forever, Priscilla Aneem, The Realest Chick, Just Nia Love, Simply Her EXO, girl you snuck in because I know I shouted you out already, Donna Nisha, Octavia S, Mel S, Yoselis Arias, Talia Wilson, Bree S, Benjamin, Ben 10, okay, Villain Minu, Jesse Baldwin, Sammy, Masika Akua, Katie D, New York Starburst, Ashley Simone, Maxine, Queenie B, Lex Nisha, Shakima Monique, Now Nai, T Alexander, Aixa Marie, Buinja Bayanji, Ashley M, Diamond J, Marianne H, Taylor Victoria, Jordan A. Doming, Morgan J, Mia, Trill Vibes, Alexis Deja, Jordan H, Trend T, Chris Kamani, and Kamara Lakay. Girl, if I didn't get you today, I'm gonna get you next time. Shout out to all the members. If you want to become a member, click the link in the description box or click the join button, and I think now you can do it from your phone. So yeah, I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.